Hi, I'm Jérémy.
And I'm Ben.
Together with 15 Degrees North.
Today we're going to show you the sights and sounds of the Iguazu Falls.
The Iguazu Falls is the biggest network of waterfalls in the entire world, sitting on the border between Argentina, Brazil and Paraguay.
Though the falls themselves are almost entirely located in Argentina, the best views of the falls can be seen from the Brazilian side. So to get up close and personal with them, you'll need to see them from Argentina,
but then cross the border into Brazil to get that stunning view.
The Paraguayans, however, don't really get to see very much at all.
The Iguazu Falls sit on the border of two countries, Brazil and Argentina, which proves quite difficult to try and arrange, doesn't it?
Well, especially if you only got one day, really.
Yeah, exactly.
So the best thing to do is get yourself a transfer. Private transfer is a bit pricey, but I mean, they arrange everything for you. You still have to pay for the entrance fee, but they take you from the airport or your hotel to the Argentinian side. It goes straight through because you don't have to queue. Border control 5 minutes and you're into Argentina, and then you come back. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's simple, but it's pricey.
And if you don't do it that way round, the border crossing takes quite a long time, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
this is a couple of hours, maybe
Yeah.
1-2 hours. You got to get a bus, then you got to wait the bus on the other side to get back to the. Oh yeah, it's a bit of a faff.
So the transfer is
Or
the easiest
taxis,
way.
But yeah. So we started in Argentina.
From here you can see the makeup of the falls, which see the Iguazu River cascade across 2 steps of basalt, marking the divide between the upper and lower Iguazu.
Depending on the time of the year and water level, there can be anywhere between 150 to 300 falls, varying between 60 and 80 meters in height.
And the edge over which the water first plummets is 2.7 kilometers in length.
What a big waterfall.
So big.
No matter what angle you look at it from, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's enormous.
Huge, yeah. Love it. The Argentine side has a lot of infrastructure with several routes you can walk.
So you'd better be up for a walk because the car park is not nearby.
But don't worry about the sign saying beware of the leopards.
No, really.
The paths are pretty damn busy with hordes of other tourists that will scare them away.
The Argentinian side has 3 trails. One of them is actually closed at the moment, which is the most famous one, the Devil's Throat, which I'm kind of gutted about not being able to see. But the other 2, the superior and the inferior ones, are open. We were told by our guide that doing the inferior one was probably the better one. But with the inferior one you get more kind of like the distance views, whereas the ones from the superior are far more up close.
The park also allows you to get up and close with nature too, which was a very nice surprise.
What have you got on your hand, Ben?
Well, there's just butterflies everywhere around here. Look at that, they just land on you, chill for a bit, and then fly away. It's like being in a fairy forest.
So the second half of the day sees us across the border in Brazil.
And from the moment you arrive, the perspective the distance gives you is quite remarkable.
The infrastructure in the park this side is much smaller, but because Brazil is at the bottom of the falls, you get to see the whole network in all its noisy glory.
And what a big waterfall she is.
So big.
And so we grab some acai and head out onto the trail because at least this side we will get to see the infamous Devil's Throat.
Every angle that you see it from is just all the more spectacular, whether it's Brazilian or Argentinian. Good word.
Devil's Throat is a devious-shaped canyon that sits within the falls that see half of the Iguazu River tumble into the same confined space before fanning out onto the step below.
This is by far the most violent and most dramatic segment of the falls, and on this side, a series of boardwalks and bridges takes you up close and personal with them.
Until now, your view has been from a comfortable distance, but this is where you start to get wet.
The closer you get, the louder they become, and then you become enveloped in the spray.
And we mean absolutely soaked.
The closer you get, the more you realise just how big it is.
So big.
It's really wet inside the Devil's Throat.
I'm soaking, I can't see anything.
Soaked to the bone, we couldn't be any happier.
It was quite the effort to see the falls, as we had to fly in and out from Sao Paulo just to see them.
Add to that the cost of the transfers and entry to both sides of the park, and this was actually quite the expensive day trip.
But it was so worth it.
So worth it.
Because the falls are, well, truly remarkable.
And big.
Yes, so big.